Good morning, YouTube. We're in downtown Dayton once again. You have a building like this that is for lease right here, and you got people like Charlie Sims, who's the person that's behind this Patterson Place Townhouse Scam. That's about 2 blocks down from Fifth Third Field to my west. And he said in one of his videos, downtown is thriving. Well, if downtown is thriving, then why aren't you buying buildings like this and that one and ripping them down for your condos right here? Because here's more places for your condos. Not to mention down the street you got the old Patterson School building right there. Well, the old Patterson School lot, which if your townhouses are in such high demand, why haven't you taken that lot off the hands of Dayton Public Schools and trying to develop your townhouses there? I'd like to know that. And not to mention, Mr. Sims, you don't even live in the city of Dayton, so why are you trying to champion a city you don't even live in? Clearly this building right here, nobody owns right here anymore, and if there's such high demand for these houses, these townhouses that you're behind, why aren't you buying buildings like this and either knock them down? Well, this is in tear down stage. That probably is too. I don't know if that building over there can be saved or not, but they're always wanting to buy buildings like across the street in hopes of converting them to townhouses. I don't know if it would work in that case or not, because I don't know how far that building is gone or not. But so if there's such high demand for this stuff, why aren't you actually buying buildings like this and actually tearing them down? It's Friday morning, so traffic is pretty busy. This road is Keowee Street. It's pretty busy road right here through the week in downtown. So if downtown is thriving, then why aren't you buying buildings like this mess right here? Why aren't you buying it, huh? Dayton Transmission Repair, that's very doubtful they would still be in business in a building that's that dilapidated. But so if downtown is thriving, then why don't you actually buy some of these buildings here at the corner of Monument and Keowee right here? And we're on the northeast edge of downtown Dayton right now, about 3 blocks from Fifth Third Field. And if you notice this, YouTube, we got another empty lot over here. So if downtown is thriving, why aren't you going to the city, Mr. Sims, and buying up those buildings and lots right there and building your townhouses right here? So yeah, you could say downtown is thriving all you want, buddy, but we know what the truth is. Huge lot right here, they could build something, but there's no demand for it. They claim there's demand for the townhouses down here, but why aren't they knocking down those 3 buildings if there's such high demand for them? But yet they keep telling us all these lies, people like Charles Sims behind that Patterson Place Townhouse Scam. And if there's high demand for them, why ain't they sold out? And also, why hasn't he bought the old Patterson School lot and tore them down? Yeah, that's a good question. You hear that, YouTube, right there? Good question. If there's such high demand for this stuff, and they say there's such high demand for townhouses and condos, You got all this right here, 3 buildings across the street, where somebody could knock down and build these townhouses and condos right here. Good question. If there's such high, it takes money, but if there's such high demand for it, which we all know is not the truth, they can make it happen. It's the government and politics. Well, that's true, but the thing is, it's all a scam, and some people don't know how to filter through the scams, you know? Yeah, and if there's such high demand for his townhouses, then here's a challenge. Knock down those 3 lots, those 3 buildings, build right there, and all over there by Patterson school lot. Yeah, which way, and they've tried to do that. See this dilapidated mess? If there's high demand for condos and lofts, buy these up. Make them into it. And you see right here, YouTube, you got all this empty space right here that is not being used. Here you got another dilapidated building right here, a monument that is not being used, and you got a huge chunk of land over there across the street, and that is riverfront property too. That's along the river, along the Mad River. So if there's high demand, why wouldn't you want to put some townhouses and condos along the riverfront, Mr. Sims? You have to ask yourself that, people. You know, you have all this fluff crap and all this hype that is associated with downtown, but those of us that actually live here, especially those that actually live in the city limits of Dayton, actually know the reality of this place right here. I'm going to go over and show you guys across the street. I've showed this a little bit in other videos before, but I'm going to show this again here. Yeah, this is Techtown over here. Not all that is filled. I'm going to show you guys that here soon, but here you got all this empty parking space, and none of it is hardly being used for anything, because you could see the parking lot shape is not in very good shape. So if there is such high demand for these condos and lofts, then Mr. Sims, why aren't you here? Why aren't you here? You know, because the bottom line is there is not demand for these condos and lofts. Because if there was, people like him would be buying up this land right here. You got this huge empty lot right here that is behind Techtown. None of it's being used for anything. This is riverfront property right here. Nothing is being done with it. And here you could even see Techtown is not even doing that well. Look at one of the parking lots that's right behind their building. Hardly anybody is parked there, and it's around 8:15 or 8:30 in the morning. So it's working hours for people, but yet nothing. So you got this huge piece of land right here, and you could fit probably 30 or 40 townhouse buildings on this lot right here alone, but instead there is nothing. So you could talk the big game all you want, Mr. Sims, and all you and all you other downtown Dayton homers about how downtown is thriving, but the evidence clearly says otherwise. And here, I've showed Techtown in another video a few months ago, but I'm showing you guys a real good overview of this entire area. This is probably going to be a fairly long video, because I just want to drive home this point right here. See this parking lot right here? Only 3 cars in this entire lot. but yet hardly anybody. So what is that telling you, YouTube, right here? And this Techtown is a bust, just like the rest of Dayton. All these failed projects to reinvigorate downtown Dayton. You could clearly see there's empty space in this building because there's only 3 cars parked here, and only you got a few cars parked here on the other side of Techtown, and you got something with Dayton's Children's right here. Nothing is, and that's looks like that may be their only tenant right here. And I just get tired of all these lies and all this hype, because those of us that live here actually know what the truth is. And you got space for condos and townhouses if there was really that high a demand for it, as I said before, right here. And those 3 or 4 buildings where I started the video at, right here. So, you know, you people got to decipher through the hype. Obviously, the people that work at this Dayton Children's, I'm not exactly sure what they actually have here. Probably some doctor's offices. And that has nothing to do with anything technical related. I mean, the medical field, not in the sense of tech stuff is for various other things, but so if there was really such high demand for this, why isn't it being built? And you clearly know, oh yeah, I can see from right here, there's empty spaces inside of this building right here, as these 2 floors right here, actually maybe 3 floors on this side of it, there's nothing in it. So really, YouTube and Dayton, why is that? Right here, I'm going to show the first floor of this right here. This is empty, nothing. This is the reality that they don't want you to see this stuff. Completely empty right there. Somebody's working in there, but what are they really working for? And here, I may have showed this before, but here's the sign, 241 Taylor Street, right here. Only 1 tenant out of, they got 7 spaces right here, and only 1 is being used. So this kind of tells you all the fluff crap that's been happening, you know, with this downtown Dayton hype machine and so forth. Not sure how many are in this building right here, but I'll take a look here. This one looks like, I don't know, it'd actually be kind of hard to believe this is actually full, unless they just leave their businesses signs up on the side of here to really mask the emptiness of it, to mask the emptiness of this place. But so here we go right here, YouTube. You see there's only 3 cars in that parking lot right there. So this Techtown, it's another flop, just like the rest of all this downtown Dayton development and so forth. You do have 6 businesses here, but however, I truly doubt that, because there's hardly anybody parked down here, you know. 711 East Monument Avenue. Here's the businesses that are here, are the ones that claim to be, but given the emptiness of the parking lot, you have to seriously question and doubt how many of those are actually still in existence. Here you got this building, the Entrepreneurs Center right there. And here we got another building across the street that is clearly beyond tear down status. And I've said this over and over again, if there was such high demand for these townhouses, condos, and lofts, then why isn't this being built? Because also, this green space that's in front of Techtown really would not serve much purpose if there was actually demand for condos and lofts. Because for one thing, they could just build one huge parking garage back there for all this stuff right here, and it would suit it, you know, just perfectly right here. So you have to seriously question, you know, the agenda of these folks, because I don't put anything past these people. You know, they're gonna feed you the scams. And of course, some Dayton residents who are eternal optimists are dumb enough to believe it. For sale, Keller Williams Realty, industrial commercial zoning. Well, I don't know who's gonna want this lot right here, because there's clearly nothing there. And another empty lot right here. So here you go, YouTube. Corner of Monument and Webster. More spaces for condos and lofts, but instead, nothing. So this just proves to you there is no demand for these condos and lofts right here. And you know, they're always going to try and feed us all this fluff crap and all these lies, which of course some people in Dayton are likely to believe that because they don't want to admit the truth. You know, I'm from Dayton. You know, I've lived in this area all my life. I've lived in the city limits. I still do. And around various suburbs. I do live in the city limits, unlike Mr. Sims, who does not. And there's your space for condos and lofts right there. But instead you have nothing. Instead you have absolutely nothing. Here's another building right here. I cannot tell if it is occupied or not, but it may not be, because there's only one car. There's only one car there, and Good Neighbor House, Empower and Healthier Communities, so maybe they're not open yet. That's meant to help out people that are less fortunate, which is good. I have no problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is them constantly telling us that there is demand for shopping, condos, and lofts when it's all clearly nothing but a failure right here. Maxwell Light and Protection. It looks like this is still in use, maybe. Can't totally tell, but there's clearly a lot of hype around this downtown crap right here. And yeah, this is in use because I can see some cars right there. That's different from the norm of downtown Dayton. I might be going east to town to make some other videos. I don't know yet. It depends on how much battery life I got left here in a little bit. We're on East 1st Street, right by the Dayton Dragons, you know, ballpark, but I've already showed that in multiple videos, so I'll just give you guys another glimpse of it again. No need to really show that again, but so here we go. Dayton Supply and Tool, they are occupied. This is Bricks Ice Company. I've showed this in other videos as well. Of course, they're not open yet. It's still early in the morning, of course. But this was a place that this place might be doing a little bit better than some other bars, because this place was open for the Dayton Dragons in the baseball stadium, and they are. Although I did come by here a couple times in the evening when there was no games and there was only 2 or 3 people around 8 o'clock. If you notice the business hours, they just say 11 a.m. to whenever. So this may not even be the most stable business, because they don't even post closing hours for their business right here. Here we got McCormick 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. So here's another thing, YouTube, that debunks $110,000. Who's going to spend $110,000 in downtown Dayton? So here's another thing that debunks that there's huge demand for these condos and lofts and apartments for sale. 10 units right here. CR Model McCormick, Steve Siebold, Sibsy Klein Realtors. So here's another scam that was clearly is not working out, because 10 units inside this building, there wouldn't be no more than probably 15 or 20. So a lot of this is clearly for sale and vacant right here. Here's another side view of this right here. So there you go, Dayton. There's another flop that didn't work out for you. And I think I seen a sign here that Mendelssohn's may have been trying to sell this building right here, although it does look like it is still being used right here. And so yeah, this is your, so you have Mr. Charlie Sims, or Charles Sims. Downtown is thriving. There's Fifth Third Field again. Obviously, only people that are going to be down there this morning are those that are doing maintenance and landscaping, of course. And so yeah, this is your thriving downtown Dayton for you. This is Mendelssohn's right here. And this building is for lease. So even Mendelssohn's, they've been here for a long time. They're even trying to downsize their operations. This building for lease, Crest Commercial Realty. So this even tells you something right here, YouTube. Mendelssohn's liquidation outlet, but they're clearly trying to sell that because they're obviously trying to downsize for a reason, of course. So this is your wonderful and thriving and glorious downtown Dayton. So Mr. Sims, I've said this before, here's a challenge for you. Why don't you move back to Dayton instead of actually living in the suburbs and actually championing this place from the actual suburbs? But this right here just tells you the truth, YouTube. This might be one of my longest videos I've ever posted, because I'm showing a good section of this right here, because of course near Fifth Third Field, this is one big reason why all this so-called development which was started down here, of course a lot of it, as you can see, has been a flop. Because this building right here, I don't even believe there's a couple bars right here, but of course they're not going to be used this early in the morning right here. And so this is your wonderful, thriving downtown Dayton for you. This used to be Canal Street Tavern years ago. I believe they closed it. Actually, Canal Public House. So maybe they're still here in a different form. Canal Public House. You got a couple other bars right here. Riff Raff on the Canal, Southern Belle at the corner of East First and North Patterson Boulevard. This is where I made that Patterson Townhouse video a few mornings ago. And so you can clearly see during this video, I clearly have showed where there's multiple opportunities east of here for townhouses and condos if there was really such high demand for it. But you can clearly see, YouTube, there isn't, because if there was, there would actually be demand. Mark Roscoe, her realtors. I may actually call this number and find out what this is selling for. If this is 135 right here. But yeah, this is the Patterson Place video right here. It's funny how they keep telling us there's demand for these townhouses and condos, but yet they got space right here they could build them on, and a whole bunch of stuff down there, but yet they always put it under this auspice and snake oil that there's demand for it. Why isn't the old Patterson school lot being built? Why aren't those buildings on Keowee and Monument at the end being built? Why ain't that building on Monument and Webster being knocked down? Why aren't they building it behind Techtown? But yet you have people like Mr. Charlie Sims, who doesn't even live in our city, championing our city, and he doesn't even live here. And yet he claims downtown is thriving. Well, this is your thriving downtown for you. 3 empty buildings right there. Bunch of space behind Techtown that's not being used. 2 or 3 empty and dilapidated buildings on Monument before Webster. So this is your thriving downtown Dayton for you. I'm like, waste of taxpayer money. I'm like, if you think downtown is so great, why don't you move downtown, Mr. Sims, or why don't you actually buy a house down here in Dayton? It's just more fluff crap. You know, right now I'm making a video exposing this scam for what it really is. It's all a scam, you know. I was just speaking with a person at the bus stop. He's pretty aware of what's going on with this scam as well, that they are pulling in general. Here's this Patterson Place crap, which is nothing but a scam. Because if there was such high demand for this, like I said, I've already showed, you know, 3 or 4, I've already showed at least 6 or 7 potential sites for more of these townhouses and condos if there was really such, you know, high demand for all this fluff crap. Right here, yeah, this is gonna be my longest video I've ever posted on YouTube so far. I'm almost at the 30-minute mark, 28:32 in right now, 29:32 in right now, but I don't really care how long it runs, because I'm just showing you guys what the actual reality is of this place right here. And I don't give a crap who likes it or not. So the people who anonymously dislike my video about the Patterson Townhouse place. Why don't you come out and actually have a conversation and speak your name and say what you really think? Because I've showed more than enough evidence to show that downtown Dayton is not thriving. These right here do look occupied right here, but see all this just fluff crap and all this snake oil scams that they try and pull, and all these, you know, tall tales about how great downtown really is, but the evidence says otherwise, YouTube, and I've clearly showed that. You claim there is demand for restaurants, condos, and lofts right here. Here we're at the corner of North St. Clair and East 2nd Street right here. Here we got another building that is for sale or for lease. Right here, Aquarius. Right here, which is what it was on the club. Nightclub, 14,000 square feet. Building and business. Tony Hot. Right here. Well, Iron Gate Realtors and Mr. Tony Hot, you have a losing proposition on your hands. I showed these buildings in front of me from behind the other day, and almost every one of them was vacant. See this Aquarius right here? This is all empty right here because the building is for sale or for release. Nothing here. Here, continuing further on into downtown Dayton, walking my way west here. They claim downtown is thriving, but yet you have so many empty lots and buildings, and yet they claim there is demand for these townhouses and condos, but yet there's about 10 sites to the east of here they could use. So they keep telling us all these lies, and Mr. Charles Sims, who doesn't even live in our city, says all downtown's thriving. Here's your thriving downtown Dayton for you. He lives in West Carrollton. He don't even live in our city. So here we go, YouTube, right here. More proof right here. Now, this building is occupied. Dayton stencil, or at least part of it is, but here we got. I'm going to probably walk over to 3rd Street and show you guys the end of that. Then I'm probably going to get ready to cut this video here soon. But this is clearly vacant right here.